Welcome back to Studio 5. Helping your student get ready for college is a topic that we talk about a lot on Studio 5, especially this time of year. But today we're switching gears a little bit, focusing instead on how to know if college is right for your child. Meg Radanich is an academic and career counselor with Utah Valley University. She joins me with advice for parents with students who may be asking that question. Is a college degree for me? Is a college degree worth it? Meg, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Do you find more and more high school students, even college students, questioning that?
Yeah, you know, this is a really hot topic right now, just because we're seeing a lot of college graduates enter the workforce and they're either not able to find jobs in the fields they went to school for, or they're underemployed, which means that they're taking jobs that don't necessarily require a bachelor's degree. And they're sitting there wondering, you know, was this the right choice and was my college degree worth it?
And so it's not strictly a financial question necessarily. There's an output there that connects, but
Sure.
there are some kids too asking themselves, am I fit for college from a personality perspective? Is that fair?
Definitely, absolutely. I mean, I think they're looking around and they're seeing their friends that maybe didn't go to college able to find entry-level jobs and just move their way up a company and rely solely on work skills and work experience. But I think the financial piece is also important to consider, because students are going, wow, I'm going to take out $30,000 of student loans if they're paying for it themselves, and then there's no guarantee that there's going to be a job waiting for me at the end. I mean, it's a big consideration to make.
And you understand it, I'm sure, more than most from your position as an academic counselor. This is a tough pill for parents to swallow. There's definitely a generational divide, I think, in this line of questioning.
Definitely. I tell students all the time, you know, this isn't your grandparents' job market where 30, 40 years ago a college degree was a big deal. It made you very marketable, you know, and for the most part there was a job waiting for anybody who went to college by the end of it. There's just more access to higher education now. We've got open enrollment programs, we've got online programs. It's not just men going to college anymore, you know, and people of all different racial and ethnic backgrounds. So while it's wonderful that there's more access, anytime you've got more college graduates, the value is going to go down a little bit.
So fair to say the value of that degree, it's just a fact, has changed.
Yes, and you've got to face that reality that a college degree on its own is not going to bring the job. You've also got to supplement it with some work skills if you are going to go to college.
Gosh, it's hard because, you know, I sit here and I'm even listening to you and I'm not to that stage of parenting yet or anywhere near it, but I kind of cringe thinking, gosh, but isn't college the goal? Isn't that what we teach and we preach? That education, obviously, we know is valuable. There's a pressure kids feel along with that whole conversation.
The kids feel it, and I think the parents feel it too, because they're always being asked, what's your kid's plan? What's the next thing? They're going to go to college, they're going to go to grad school, what's the plan? And sometimes students don't really know what they're doing, and I think that's okay. Or maybe they're a student that's going to do better in a trade program. And I look at some of these trade programs, you know, collision repair technology, welding, programs that get you in and out and skilled in something very specific. It's not a bad option. I mean, those students are making way more than I was making as a student with a liberal arts degree. You know,
how should your learning style, what kind of weight should that carry when you're making this decision?
Yeah, you know, the students who naturally think in a more conceptual and theoretical big picture way do better in college. When you think back to those general education requirements, it's a natural fit for students who think in that you know, theory, and they do really well with concepts and just reading about doing things versus actually doing them. So if your student's more of a practical, hands-on learner, those trade programs are not a bad idea. There's also certificate programs for things like social media marketing or graphic design, 1-year, 2-year programs that teach you the basics of everything you absolutely need to know to get a job, and then the rest is just on-the-job training.
So then how do you know, you talk about some kids maybe struggling to find their footing about what they even want to do, but when you're guiding a student, once they kind of have that career goal in mind, right, they have an idea of the end point where they want to end up, how do you know if a college degree fits along that path?
Right, because sometimes it doesn't. I can think back to a student that I had. He said, my ultimate career goal is I want to sign bands to a record label. And I looked at him and I said, why are you in school? You know, your time would be better spent as an intern or doing an apprenticeship for a record label. And at first you're going to be getting people's coffee, you know, and you're going to be filing and you're going to be following people around as their personal assistant. And then eventually you're going to get to sit in and hear about the strategy, and you're going to sit in on meetings, and your time would be better spent getting industry experience versus spending time in college. This is the reality.
Let me ask you this, though. We talk about the college degree not necessarily getting you through the door to that job, but can the college degree carry a lot of weight when it comes to that starting wage or how much you ultimately end up getting paid?
Yes. So the research, you have to look at the research, and year after year consistently we see that college graduates do earn higher wages and they report higher job satisfaction. So I realize that I've given tons of conflicting information here, which kind of leads to the bottom line, which is there are no one-size-fits-all answers when it comes to navigating a career. And that's why it's so important to tap into school counselors at the high school, career counselors at local universities. They'll meet with you for free if you're a prospective student. We love to give advice because there's so many factors here at play, and everyone is so unique. Everyone's an individual. Everybody has different goals, different interests, personality type, aptitudes. We put all the pieces together to figure out what you need to be doing and what's going to make you happy.
We kind of chuckle over the conflicting advice, but it's true. It is so personal. I do, however, think it's great for parents, that older generation, to hear a conversation like this, too, because it has changed. It's changed.
It's changed.
All right, Meg, thank you so much.
Thanks,
really
Meg.
helpful. If you found this conversation helpful, you might want to replay it back and watch it with your prospective college student. We'll make it easy for you to do that by posting it at studio5.ksl.com, and we'll be right back.